Guys, hi Facebook. When I get started, let me get Instagram joined in. Adjust you guys. Sorry for the delay. We have crazy winds here today. I don't know if you guys are having crazy weather where you are, but we have crazy winds here today. So sorry for the delay. Let me get Instagram going. As I'm getting Instagram going, feel free to join in. Tell me where you're from, your name, what grade you're in. I'd love to hear from you. Let me get Instagram going and then we're going to get started. And if you peek back behind me, you're going to see the book we're reading today, which I'm so excited to share with you guys. So let me get this going. Hopefully internet cooperates. We need internet cooperation today. There we go. All right. All right, I think we're good. All right, Instagram, we're up. All right. Hi, Facebook. Again, as you guys are joining in, please comment. I'd love to hear from you. I'm going to try and adjust this so you guys can see the best. Let me sit and see. Okay, cut my hat a little bit, so we'll just go up a tiny bit. All right. All right, Instagram, you guys should be good. You're a little farther away so you guys can see everything. So welcome, guys. I'm so excited to have you guys here if you did not peek yet. Hi, Sadie and Luke. Oh, hi, guys. 3rd and 1st grade. Awesome. Yeah, tell me who you are, where you're from. I'd love to hear that, what grade you're in, and where you're joining in from. So for those of you who have not joined into one of these lives, my name is Mrs. Cap. I am a teacher in Ohio. I currently teach 4th grade, but I've taught other grades as well. So if you're joining in from kindergarten, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, welcome. I'm so excited to have you here. Even older, we're so excited to have you here. And we're going to do a nice fun read aloud and activities with that. So with that being said, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the book I'm going to share with you guys before we do our mini lesson as people are joining in. So the book I'm sharing with you all today is called Hair Love. See it right there? It's called Hair Love, and it is by Matthew A. Cherry and illustrated by Vashti Harrison. And I love this book for so many reasons. There's a lot of reasons, and you guys are going to see it as we read today. But one cool fun fact about this book is the author, Matthew A. Cherry, he's actually the father in the book. The author, he went to the same college I went to. So we went to the same university, which is so cool. So when I first saw this book come out, I wanted it because it was an amazing piece of literature, but also because how cool is that I could make a connection with this author and really celebrate his book. Another really cool fun fact about this book is it's also an Academy Award winning short film. So when we're all done here today, you can go on YouTube, and the short film is on YouTube. It's about 7 minutes long, and you can watch it, and there's some activity ideas that you can do with the film to go along with the book. So a great book to share with you guys. Before I read today though, all right, you guys have mostly had some time to join in. So before I read today, I need you guys, students everywhere, to be detectives with me. Can you guys do that? So to be a detective, we have to have detective tools. And probably the number one tool I think of when I think of being a detective is a magnifying glass. Oh, I need a magnifying glass to be detectives, right? Instagram, you're going to be detectives with me? All right, so we are going to be detectives today, and I'm so excited to do that with you because as readers, we basically are detectives. We are looking at clues and we're reading things and we're trying to figure out what is the author trying to teach us, to show us what's going to happen in the story. We play reading detectives every time we read a book. So today I'm asking you to be a detective with me. So I have my magnifying glass ready. I wish I had my detective hat and coat, but they're actually in my classroom at school. So we're going to have to go with the magnifying glass. But why do we need to be detectives today? Well, we're going to work on a certain skill today. You can be a detective anytime you read because you're always looking for clues to understand what you're reading. But today we're going to work on a really, really important skill, and that skill is called making inferences. Who knows what it means to make an inference? And I'm kind of covering the definition behind me for a reason because I want to see what your words. So go ahead and comment. What does it mean if I'm a teacher and I asked you guys, can you make an inference about the book we're reading? What am I asking you to do? So if you know that, go ahead and comment. I'm going to kind of look at your guys' comments. A lot of you join in. Hi. All right, so what does it mean to make an inference? I see some comments coming through on Instagram. All right. Ooh, I see people. Yep, there's a peek behind me a little bit. I saw someone say text evidence. Very good. Oh my goodness. If you were one of my 4th graders and you told me text evidence, I'd say, woo, yeah, gold star, cookie, whatever you want, right? That's awesome because inferences have to have text evidence. And someone else said that it's kind of like a guess. And that's true. It is kind of like a guess because an inference is like reading between the lines. Now, what does that mean, right? What does it mean to read between the lines? What that means is when we're looking at a book, the author is telling us the story, what's going on, right? But sometimes the author doesn't want to make things too obvious. If the author told us every little detail, it'd be kind of boring to read. We'd kind of get sick of it, honestly. Because what's fun about reading is playing detective, to be able to look at the clues and infer what's going on, making a guess about something before you know it. Great definition. Not sure who that is. Let's see. Hudson, awesome job from California. That's exactly right. Making a guess about something before you know it. Hudson, that's a great definition. Thank you. So that's what we're going to work on today. We're going to work on making inferences. Oop, I'm moving the wrong way. Let's see. It's always backwards. Okay, there we go. So to make an inference, our I can. So what can you do? What do I want you to be able to do as a student today? I want you to use text evidence to make an inference. So the difference, and Hudson did a great job explaining that, the difference between an inference and a guess is that we have text evidence. So as we're reading, before we know exactly what's going to happen, we're going to use text evidence, information from the text, that's our text evidence. That's what we're using our magnifying glass to hunt for. That's what we're playing detectives for. Text evidence, something going on in the book. We're going to add that. It's like a math equation. Who would have thought? You're doing math during reading. We're going to add that to what I know. So light bulb, what you know in your head. You want to know a fancy word for that? I think I talked about this in the first week. A fancy word for that is schema. So it's your text evidence, what you read, what you already know, your schema in your head, that light bulb. Add those two together and you're going to get an inference. So let's do a little practice. Are you ready? All right, Hudson, I'm going to use you because you gave me a great inference example. Hudson woke up today and he was so excited he jumped out of bed, right? He leaped out of bed and he ran downstairs, and on his way downstairs, he tripped over some balloons that were in the hallway. And as he ran downstairs, he smelled, he was so excited. His mouth started to water because do you know what he smelled? He smelled bacon and eggs and even pancakes. His mom made him bacon, eggs, and pancakes today. Whew, that's a big breakfast. So he ran into the kitchen and he gobbled down his favorite breakfast. And his mom put him in the car and they drove off to school. And then when he got to school, his whole class sang to him. They just burst out in song. And then when he got home, his mom had made his favorite dinner. And his favorite dinner was chicken paprikash. That's my favorite dinner. He had chicken paprikash for dinner. And after dinner, he got to have cake and ice cream and open presents. So now all of you text detectives, I know you already know exactly what it is. What is it for Hudson? What special day is it today for Hudson? Good. Couple people coming through on Instagram. Good job. What special day is it for Hudson today? Based on all those things I told you, based on the evidence that I just told you, and based on what you already know in your head. Very good. It's his birthday. Hudson, I don't know when your birthday is, but happy birthday. So it's his birthday. So based on the things that you know that balloons and cake and ice cream and singing and having your favorite meals could probably lead to an inference that it's his birthday. I never said it was his birthday, but you used what you knew, the text evidence from what I said, and you made an inference. So great job. Give yourselves a little love, little pat on the back, little pat, kiss your brain, kiss that brain, right? Great job. All right, so that's what we're going to do today. I want you today, while we are reading this book, Hair Love, to be making inferences. I'm going to pause a couple times. And I'm going to say, okay, guys, I'm going to get my magnifying glass out and say, we're looking for text evidence to make an inference. And I have another anchor chart over here. I have my characterization one up. This is the one that we talked about in the very first week, that we describe characters with how they look, feel, and act. Well, I want you guys today to make inferences about our character. So, we are doubling up here. I want you to make an inference about how our character is looking, feeling, thinking as we read today. Are you guys ready for the story? I am. I love this book. All right. Hair Love by Matthew A. Cherry, illustrated by Vashti Harrison. Hopefully everyone can see that. Good. I know sometimes the light can make a glare. Hair Love. The illustrations are beautiful in this book, so I want to make sure you guys can see them. My name is Zuri, and I have hair that has a mind of its own. It kinks, coils, and curls every which way. You see her in her bed, her little cat on top. Daddy tells me it's beautiful. That makes me proud. I love that my hair lets me be me. In funky braids with beads, I am a princess. You see her funky braids and beads? She's being a princess in her tower. And when my hair is in two puffs, I am above the clouds like a superhero. Oh, she feels like a superhero. So think about that for a second. Ooh. Let's make an inference. Text evidence. Look at her. She said she's a superhero. Look at how she's standing. We can use the images too for text evidence. And based on what I know, I can infer that she feels very confident when her hair is like that, right? I can infer her feelings are confidence. My hair even does magic tricks. One day, Rocky and I were playing outside when along came the rain. From large to small, it went. Presto, just like that. There is nothing my hair can't do. Today, I woke up extra early all by myself. I was too excited to sleep. It's a big day. Right now, you could be making an inference. What is today for her? What is the day for Zuri? What can you infer maybe? Daddy was still sleeping. Shh, I said to Rocky as we tiptoed past him. Lately, Daddy has been worn out. He makes me breakfast, takes me to school, goes to work, picks me up, and yesterday we went for a bike ride around the park. I think he needs a break. Because today is special. I want a perfect hairstyle. This calls for a professional's touch. Pulls off, Rocky! Crack! Daddy heard the crash. Zuri, what on earth? He asked. Oh, do you guys see the iPad cracked? Oh no. All right, let's stop and make an inference here. Right here, right here. Get your text detective skills ready. Make an inference right now. How is she feeling right now? And how is she going to act? Based on what you know about an iPad cracking and your parents or grandparents, whoever you live with at home, hearing that noise, how would they feel? How would you feel? What would you do? How would you act? Let's infer in your head, what's she going to do and how is she feeling right now? I was only trying to help, I said. Daddy smiled. Can I help too? It'll be a piece of cake, Zuzu. The first style was a big no way. You guys see the first style? She is not a fan. He's excited though. I can infer that about his face, right? He's like, oh, check it out. The second was no better. No, Daddy. Then Daddy tried slicking my hair back into two puffs. Ouch! Daddy yelled. Do you guys see what happened? That magic hair of hers sprung it off of it and it got him right in the eye. Wait a minute, Daddy said as he reached into the drawer and pulled out a pick. Ta-da! Daddy, really? I said. So let's make an inference. Look. Based on what she just said, based on what he said, ta-da! And based on her facial expressions and her saying, really, Daddy? How is she feeling and how is he feeling? Make an inference. I'll be right back, he promised. He has an idea. Now, how's that? He asked, pulling a hat down over my eyes. Daddy, come on. We can do better than that. I really need my hair to be special. Don't worry, he said. We'll figure this out. then I had a great idea. Before we keep going, I want you to make an inference about her dad, about the type of person he is. So let's use some text evidence, right? She made a list of all of the things that he did for her, right? Every day. Also, just now, he's a daddy and he's trying to do her hair in 7, 8 different ways to make her happy, and he keeps trying, he's not giving up. So based on that text evidence and based on what we know about his actions, we can probably infer that feeling or actions that he's a very good father, right? They have a great relationship. We can infer that about him and her. Daddy gathered all the tools we needed, and we were set. Watching carefully, Daddy combed, oiled, parted, and twisted. He nailed it. Funky puff buns! Pretty, and so much fun. Rocky approved too. Click. I put on my superhero cape as the final touch to a perfect look. Ooh, the dad's determined. Great job, whoever answered that. That's a great description for character trait for the dad. Where's my Zuzu? Mommy called from the door. She could not get in the house fast enough. Mommy! You've got to be the prettiest Supergirl I have ever seen, she said. This part gives me chills. Take a look at the mom. She's coming home. It's a really special day. Let's use our text evidence. We know how special of a day it is and how happy her mom is to see her, how happy she is to see her mom. Her dad's been doing a lot of the things. What can we infer about where her mom has been? And your hair is beautiful, Zuri. Who did it? I looked at Daddy and beamed. Mommy smiled. Very nice. Thank you. We learn from the best, Daddy said, as he gave her a big hug. My hair is Mommy, Daddy, and me. It's hair love. Flash. And they're taking a picture together right there. And that's the end of our story. Oh, I just love that book so much, don't you? Such a good book. So let's do another inference right now. If you didn't already make an inference, I want you to infer what was going on in the story. What was the special day? Where had her mother been? And I want to give you a third inference. I see people commenting. Please comment. I want to give us a second to talk about it. Comment about these things because I want you to infer things about the characters and the events based on that in the book. So what can you infer? Let's do 3 different inferences right now, okay? So 3 different inferences. What special day was it? Go ahead and type that in the comments. What can you infer about your text evidence and what you know in your head, your schema? Where had her mama been? That's a second inference. And a third one, I don't know if you guys picked up on this, but you'll see it more too if you watch the short film. When they were watching the iPad, and based on what her dad said to her, we learn from the best. What do you think they were watching on the iPad, or who were they learning from on the iPad? So let's make some inferences about that. See people already commenting. This person right here, and it's hard because I know a lot of you guys, you're on your parents. So a couple people coming through. Her mom was at the hospital. It was the day the mom comes home. Great job. I think her mom has cancer. Great. Not great that she had cancer, but great inference. Great job, guys. So many people coming through. The mom might be a hairdresser. Great inference. I love that. Keep them coming. Guys, you guys are text experts. You guys are such good text detectives. Great job. All right, so as you guys are continuing to comment, I do want to share. There's a couple activities that you can do. If your teacher shares them with you, I know distance learning right now, things are looking a little bit different, but if you have a Google Classroom or a Seesaw that you get on, your teacher might share these resources with you. So I do want to show you. They were learning how to do their hair from her. Good inference. So I created a little bit for you guys to do. Teachers, if you're tuning in, the links will be in the description of this video when this video ends. And on Instagram, my Instagram is Wild Things Learn. So like where the wild things are, but just Wild Things Learn. You can find me on Instagram. I will do a swipe up in my stories to these resources. I'll give you guys a paper version that can be printed, and also a digital version for Google Classroom or Seesaw that has text boxes that your students can type on. So 2 extension activities. Students, I want to challenge you to do more with this book today, okay? First thing I want to challenge you to do is to watch it, okay? Watch the Academy Award-winning short film of Hair Love here, and I gave you the link in this document. And if you don't have this document, just go to YouTube and search Hair Love, and you'll find the Academy Award-winning short film. And then I want you to do a little writing activity. I want you to draw yourself a Venn diagram. Do you remember how to draw a Venn diagram from school? That's just 1 circle, 2 circles where they intersect in the middle. And I want you to compare the short film to the book, because there is some differences and there's some things that you can infer in each of them that make them a little bit different. So I want you to compare the 2. That's the first activity I want you to try. Another is to write about it. In this book, Zuri experiences a very important day. The book is written as a narrative. Writers, narrative means that you tell a story that is something that happened personally about a moment in your life. This is kind of a small moment narrative, not because it's a small moment in her life. It's a very big moment in her life, but it's only one day, right? So she wrote about one day, a narrative story. I want you to write your own narrative about an important day in your life. And I did put in there some writing paper for your narrative writing. I did the primary lines and also this other lines for those of you who are in the older grades. So you can do that. You also can type on it on the digital version. That's another challenge for you. All right, some more. The next thing I want to challenge you to do is do a little inferences about the character. So here we have Zuri, and I want you to infer what she's thinking throughout the book. So at different points in the book or at different points in the film, I want you to write down an inference of what Zuri is thinking or what she is feeling at 4 different points in the book. And lastly, I want you to get some vocabulary practice. So if you tune into my very first lesson, you're familiar with how I do vocabulary in my classroom. So as you listen to the book again, or as you listen to the short film, I want you to write down some words that you've heard but you want to know more about. And I want you to write down words that are completely new to you. So make a list, and then choose 2 of those words to create vocab boxes for. I am so grateful that you tuned in with me. I am so grateful that you played text detective with me. So thank you for being here and doing that. And I'm so grateful that you shared one of my favorite books with me, Hair Love. I love this book. So thank you guys for being here. Don't forget that at 1:30, you can get a little brain break and get class fit. You can get a little class fit brain break and do a little exercise. I'm not sure. I think it's Coach Melissa, maybe, who's doing it today, she's awesome. You'll love learning from her. So you can tune in to that. And also teachers, I saw a couple comments about my shirt. These are the Get Your Virtual Teach On shirts. Remember, 100%, these are for sale through today on the Get Your Teach On website, and 100% of the proceeds are going to the Prevent Child Abuse Awareness after they're all sold. So I know they're sold out, but there's a pre-order coming through, and 100% of the proceeds are going to a wonderful cause, and they are the softest, most comfortable shirt ever. So thank you guys for tuning in. Again, my name is Mrs. Cap. I really appreciate you guys being here and having you. The resources will be posted in the video description, and again on my Instagram, which is Wild Things Learn. You can follow me and I'll put a little swipe up in my stories. So thanks for being here. Go get class fit and do some of these activities, and thank you for enjoying the book with me. All right. Bye, Facebook.